And we can pause whenever. All right.
I might have to poop my pants at some point.
Oh. Oh.
Hello? Hey everyone, welcome back to Coworker Calamity, the podcast where we try to make sense of the chaos that comes from being young women who have recently entered the quote-unquote real world. My name is Caroline, and today's episode is titled Tarot and Tales. Once again, I am joined by my coworker, co-host, and my fellow tarot explorer, Miss Isa.
Hello.
Okay, Adele, I didn't realize you got possessed.
No, I was trying to be Melania Trump. Hello.
I don't know.
You don't.
I know who she is, obviously, but I don't really know.
You don't know that clip where she's like, "Hello, hello."
Maybe I do.
Oh, it's
I
so
don't
good.
know.
It's so good.
I just every time I see her, I feel like she's just trapped in somebody's trapped in her body trying to get out. That's what
I
it's
don't blame
giving.
her.
Anywho, how's your week going?
Good. I hate to break it to you, but same thing as usual. Nothing happened.
Boring.
Oh, I did get a new tarot deck. Since this is the topic of the episode, I ordered one, and it is such a good deck. I don't know if you are aware of Jessica Rue, but she's the one that made the Woodland Wardens Oracle deck.
No, I haven't heard of it, but I was looking at the tarot earlier before we started. It is stunning, so check her out. Definitely.
Yeah, great artist, great illustrator, and author, I believe, as well.
Oh my gosh,
she's like a
jack
triple
of all
threat.
trades.
Yeah, so I was playing around with that deck.
Do you ever... I know a lot of people who do tarot have different rituals. Do you sage yours? Do you... No, you just go into it?
No, I just dive right in. I think I'm a very casual tarot enjoyer. I get the decks, I use the decks, but I don't really indulge much. And I don't have any gripes against it. For me, I like to do my own thing with tarot and oracle and anything that's more, premonition vibes. I would say I'm open, but I just do whatever. I don't really.
Do you take it seriously, or are you kind of just like, eh?
I take it pretty seriously. I'd love to do readings on my friends.
Yeah.
I like to do readings on my boyfriend because he hates it. He's a non-believer. He's 100% skeptic.
Yeah.
Which is why I love to do it, because it's like I pull a card and he's like, well, you can just say anything. And it's so funny.
That makes so much sense for him. He's walking devil's advocate.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, if the devil's around, he's advocating for it.
He is, yeah. Yeah.
But... you know what? I feel like I could change his mind with some stories that I have about my experience.
I know. I'm excited about this episode because you have a lot of interesting conversations with people. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until me and you started hanging out outside of work and stuff where I remember for Christmas I got you a tarot deck.
Yeah, that was my first... Well, yeah, that was my first tarot deck.
Yeah.
You gave me one you didn't want anymore.
Oh, yes.
That was the first tarot deck I've ever had. That's not true. I do have one at home. And I forgot it. I should get that when I go home. Thanks for the reminder.
I was going to say, remember her.
Yeah.
Remember your roots.
I know. And she's OG one.
Really?
Yeah, like the typical tarot that you look at and you...
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the one that's in Balatro.
Yes.
The Balatro one. Yeah, I totally love tarot. I love... As someone who's into art, I love looking at the cards. I love looking at the art. The art for me needs to be interesting and very cohesive. I love a theme. My dream is to have the motivation and artist motivation to be able to illustrate your own.
Oh, I would love to be part of making my own. That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a great present for somebody too. Side note, if you made their own tarot deck catered to them and your little inside jokes, and
it would be so cute.
It'd be so fun.
Not to be that girl who's like, that's what my boyfriend did, but for our anniversary, we kind of bond over Pokemon. So he got a Pokemon booster and took out the Pokemon cards and then replaced it with, or maybe he just bought the sleeve. Anyways, it was disguised as a Pokemon booster pack. Yeah. And so when I opened it, it was cards of our memories.
Oh.
And on the back, it was all poems of the specific memories. And he drew them. And actually, it's on my shelf over there.
Ugh, if
Yeah,
he
I
wanted
bought.
to, he would, you guys.
Yeah.
Right there. He's out here handcrafting beautiful gifts.
Yeah.
And some of y'all got boyfriends who don't even remember your birthday.
Ooh.
Wake up.
Yeah. No, I love a handmade present. It trumps everything.
Yeah, I mean, especially now that we have full-time jobs. Not that we could buy ourselves anything we want whenever we want,
Yeah.
but realistically, you could buy yourself, within reason, pretty much anything you want.
Yeah.
As long as you save up for it. So stuff like that has more of a...
I agree. I think when I know that someone put a lot of thought and effort into something, and you can with a gift that you
Absolutely,
buy.
if it's very catered to that person.
Yeah, but I will take a shitty handcrafted origami statue over.
And it's true, and that's why you love my drawing so much.
Yeah. Caroline leaves a drawing at my desk every once in a while, and it's very interesting. I would say it's very interesting. That's all I have to say. They're good. And what's really interesting, not to say interesting again, is that you're getting better at drawing.
That's so funny you say that.
I recognize that you're gaining a little bit of control with your wrist. You're gaining a little bit of control of your shapes. I see a lot of forms starting to grow. And you should be really proud of your growth as an artist.
Thank you. And you know what? Considering how bad I am to start with, the fact that you can tell at least what it's supposed to be now.
But it's not bad.
Yeah.
Because you have a good foundation. You understand where the line has to go. You just need to develop the muscle memory. You need to develop the strength, the skill of drawing it correctly. You understand that the hand is this shape. You need to get specific with that shape and practice that shape. Yeah. It's all just shapes and forms.
It's just hard. Like when I draw hands, I draw like the Mickey Mouse big blow. And I don't draw like a little finger with a little bend. No, it's straight and it's big and fat, just like mine. And you know,
I don't blame you. It's hard.
Maybe we should post some of them so they have an idea of my artistry and my genius. Because there's some really funny ones, you guys. Not to hype myself up.
No, they're funny. I kind of want to redraw them in a way, so they're very...
Yeah, no, I want you to do that too. You should do that with the Grim one that I...
The Slim Reaper?
Yeah, I came up with one, guys, called, instead of the Grim Reaper, like death, it's Slim Reaper, and basically it's a drawing of what would be the cover of a tell-all tale book about the Grim Reaper, but instead it's about the Grim Reaper having an eating disorder. So...
Why couldn't the Grim Reaper just get slim?
Because
working out, GLP-1, and you know.
Well, maybe there's a little GLP-1 in there, but he was so slim before, and now he's even more slim after to show that it went too far. That it was no longer healthy.
Yeah, that's pretty emotional. Okay,
yeah.
With that in mind, I will try my best to represent that in drawing.
Thank you.
Yeah, good thing you told me that because it would have been a different drawing.
Yeah, no, that changes the entire thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really important.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
And on that note, speaking of Grim Reaper, ooh. Do you have any spooky or weird experiences with the supernatural?
Yes. I'm a believer that those who have passed in your life visit you in your dreams or visit you in ways that are very kind of obvious, but not really.
Are you referring to the animals, certain...
Right. Yeah. I would say for my mom, when her grandma passed away, my mom was tormented by deer.
That happened to my mom too.
Yeah.
That's weird that you just said that. Same thing. My mom always sees deer.
Yeah.
When she's out and she's like, I think my parents send those.
Same thing with my mom. My mom's grandma, at least. My great grandma.
Yeah.
My car used to be my mom's. That thing was a deer magnet.
Same with my mom. She had deers run into the side of her car. Like straight run into the side of
That's interesting. Okay, maybe
that's weird.
I made a whole experimental film. It was a direct on film type of vibe. And I used just old 16mm images of my great grandma, and it was about my mom being tormented by deer. It was a story where my mom was talking about how she was tormented in deer. It's like a little mini documentary, but it's really interesting, the concept of somebody not like being reincarnated, but somebody representing an animal. I love that idea.
Same.
It adds more meaning to things.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have my grandpa on my dad's side. I had a pretty scary childhood memory where I had a dream about him, and then I woke up and I felt like he was in my room, and it was kind of scary. I think he was visiting. Yeah, it was.
Seeing how you doing.
And then I'll briefly mention this because if I talk about my poo poo bear, my boo boo bear, my moo moo mare, my Mishu Maya, which was
Her has since passed.
has since passed
Golden.
standard poodle, apricot poodle.
Yeah, apricot, sorry.
Yeah, no. Well, she was golden.
Yeah.
To me, she was my best friend. When she passed away, I dream about her a lot. And I always like to think it's her visiting me, keeping her eyes on me, or whenever I see another dog that kind of closely resembles Maya, I kind of think, oh, I think that's a whole different story though. I think I'm just not over my dog's death, and I get sad even thinking of it. It's awful. It's been almost a year, and it's still hard for me to talk about, but I do think she visits me in my dreams. She's still part of my everyday life. Even on my Apple Watch, it's only photos of her as I like circle through.
Yeah.
It's so sad, but yeah, I do think she visits, and it's always super nice. She's always there. She's so cute. I miss my poo poo bear. Anyway, yeah, before I start crying about my dog. But yeah.
I 100% believe that. I have, like, in my head, I've always had this about butterflies being really important. And it's not like I see butterflies all the time. So when I do have encounters with them, they end up being so weird that I just know it's my ancestors coming to me. I actually was told this later on by a psychic. I'll get into I have about 8,000 psychic stories to talk about. There will be times where I'm just sitting outside by the pool and I get attacked by a white butterfly. When I say attacked, like, it'll just start coming at my head and circling around me, and I just know it's my ancestors or my spirit guides just laughing at me.
That's funny.
Because I know I'm so scared of bugs.
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say
I hate bugs. It's like my worst fear.
I was just gonna say,
it'll follow me everywhere.
Worst possible form.
No, they, I think, jokingly tease me because they know I'm scared of but butterflies are the most tolerable one. Like, if I had to send me a bug, at least.
I was gonna say, butterflies are so... I don't categorize them as a bug because they're so different in the sense that they're so pretty.
They do have a different aura about them, in my opinion, than other bugs. They kind of, like, even moths are just like...
Don't say that.
I know you love moths. I'm traumatized from moths. I don't want to talk about it, but during that big migration of them a couple years ago, they just kept getting to my apartment.
Oh. No, I love a moth. I love any form of bug. I think they're all awesome. And I will die on that hill.
Are you one of those people that's like, don't punish them because they're small?
No, I just think they're interesting creatures.
Yeah.
I hate having a silverfish in my apartment, just like everyone else. But I'm not really that scared of bugs.
Yeah.
I grew up on a sailboat in the summers, and that's a spider magnet for sure. Yeah. Spiders love...
I love that water.
They just love being on a sailboat. I guess I just got used to it. You know?
This always happens though. People... It's always the bug lovers that never get the infestations. It's the people who are terrified that always get tormented with it.
What do you mean? I literally had like a whole... I just moved into this place and there's silverfish on our freaking ceiling.
Yeah, but you're not seeing them like your roommate is seeing them.
True. He's being tormented. But that's also... He's also deathly afraid. So how much of it
maybe
is
he's
in
just
his head?
seeing more. Maybe, yeah.
He maybe just hallucinating them. I'm gonna gaslight him. Every time he's like, there was another silverfish on the wall, I'm gonna be like, no, there wasn't.
See, here's the thing too though, when you have, because I had an infestation when I first moved to my apartment here. Trauma story. Oh, I don't even want to get into it today. But when you're so scared of bugs, you start losing sleep, and then you start hallucinating more because you're not sleeping well. So then it actually does make it worse because you're so paranoid about it.
I mean, okay. Just take a melatonin. Gosh.
Oh, look at me dreams. Oh. I don't like melatonin.
Anyway, did not mean to derail about bugs, but I wanted to know more about your psychic stories.
Oh my god, where do I begin? Why don't we start with the first psychic that you and I saw together when we went on a trip together to another city close to where we live. Being as vague as possible to not give away where I live. We went on a trip together and there was one of these psychics that worked in some sort of crystal shop, so we just bought it to give it a shot. To be honest, I'm a little bit more skeptical of people just working in a shop because it's harder to know their background or if they have any reviews or whatever it is because they're working under a different name. But that was a pretty interesting one. I would say though that wasn't accurate, the stuff I got.
Really?
I mean, kinda. This person told me that I would have some things that would happen in September and none of it happened. Which is fine. I didn't think I held on to it too tight. But yours was pretty accurate.
I mean, looking back, I do think some things were a little bit inaccurate, but I mean, she knew a lot.
Do you think she was just a really good people reader, though?
I don't know, because one, I've never had a tarot reading by someone before. I usually just do it myself.
Yeah.
Or you would do it for me, and it wouldn't really be that official. You know, it would just be like a passing thing. This lady, she knew a lot of things by the cards she pulled. First and foremost, she pulled a bunch of cards, and then right away she asked me, "Do you have a partner?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And
she didn't ask me that.
50-50 answer right there. But she pulled it and she was like, well, this partner really loves you. And I'm like, oh, you know, it made me feel all happy.
We're not
inside.
saying the gender.
Well, I did say after, like, yeah, I have a boyfriend. So I don't know. Basically, though, she went ahead and she made it more about my boyfriend. It was strange. She was pulling cards and she was like, is your boyfriend happy at work? Is your boyfriend feeling overwhelmed at work? I mean,
this is a basic question retrospectively looking
yeah,
at it.
yeah, it was pretty basic, but it was interesting because maybe he's overwhelmed at work. But once again, my boyfriend is a hard worker. I don't know why I said once again. I never said anything about that. But he's a hard worker, so maybe from by default, he's overwhelmed. And then she talked about how much he loves me, and she was like, are you guys planning to hang out anytime in the future? By the way, we're long distance. To add.
Are you guys, so the psychic's question was, are you gonna hang out with your boyfriend? And you're like, oh my god.
Well, she was like,
she's so good. She's so good.
She was like, is there any trips planned? And I said, yeah. That's it. That's all I said. And she's like, I won't give it away. So I think she was alluding to the fact that we were going to get married, which if you know where I'm at life, where he's at life, hell no. If he proposed to me right now, I would be convinced that he was being held at gunpoint and someone was like, you have to propose, not in like a terrible way, but in the sense that we had conversations about it. We are nowhere close to tying that knot. We're
young, wild, and free, baby.
Well, yeah. And also we live in different states and we both just got jobs and we're animators and artists. We're not billionaires. So we need to make money.
Yeah, you can only get married if you're a billionaire.
Right.
That's the rule.
Right. And then this was what was interesting. Is she flipped a card and she said, are you moving? Which was a little bit interesting because, yes, later that month I did move and it was a huge thing for me and my roommate because we lived in a very small space before this and it was getting difficult to live there. So we were super excited about moving. So she started talking about that and she said that it was going to go really well and that me and my roommate are really great roommates together and everything. And then she pulled an oracle card at the end. And I know that she did that with you, but she only pulled one for me, which is rude.
She laid out all the cards
she
had me pull two.
Yeah, she only had me pull one. And I got the dog. And she's like, do you want a dog? And hell yeah, of course I want a dog. She was like, did your dog pass? Did you have a dog? And then obviously I'm like, yeah. Once again, touchy subject. Low blow. Okay, low blow coming from the tarot reader. You know how to get me emotionally invested. And she was talking about how I want a dog and how this dog will be really great for me. And it's true. I do want a dog. But I am never going to get a dog and have it be my past dog's shadow. That's not fair to whatever dog I own. So I'm not getting a dog anytime soon. But my dream of mine is once I'm more emotionally okay with starting a new journey with a puppy or with a dog, I would love to have another standard poodle, preferably a black color. And that is when she asked, oh, so what kind of dog do you want to get? And I'm like, oh, just probably a poodle. And she goes, a black one? And then I was like, yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of an ego boost. It was more of an ego boost session than anything else, now that I look back at it. And also, she said, my boyfriend's going to propose to me, which, once again, it'd be so nice to be proposed to. I don't want to be proposed to right now. She said the month of October. And recording this. Yeah, we're recording this in October and I don't think much happened. But in the moment, I was really excited.
He listens to this, he's like,
He's like putting his ring in
his pocket. He's like, dang it.
Ugh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna say she was a scammer because I don't want to take away your hopes and dreams, but I kind of want my money back from her.
It was an expensive reading. It was
It was like $35, and again, it was just supposed to be fun. But I did pull the butterfly card, which was interesting.
Mm-hmm. I pulled the dog, which makes a lot of sense.
But also, dogs. The only part of the reading where I was actively interacting with the cards was True's part. And again, a lot of her stuff was really vague and kind of fishing for questions.
She did say someone was going to annoy you that night.
No, she said some guy was going to talk to me that night. And I don't even know if that happened.
Oh.
I don't know. But long story short, you do have to watch out because there are a ton of scammers out there who prey on people who are vulnerable, people who just desperately want to hear, something.
The Etsy shop $3 tarot reading within the 10 minutes.
By the way,
I was gonna say, by the way, that is somebody who is prompting AI.
It's all answer. AI. By the way, I've tried it before just to see how fake they actually were. They're 100% AI.
Yeah.
You can just tell by the way it reads.
Yeah.
So you just gotta be careful out there because there are a lot of fakes. But at the same time, there are definitely people who are legit, and I will die on that hill. Most recently, I had met with a psychic in this area where I live, and long story short, she had gotten good word of mouth through people I knew. Also, her reviews online were really, really good. Some of the best reviews I've ever seen for like a psychic. So finally, I ended up going there, and I didn't even get a chance to ask any questions at all during this reading. She, straight off the bat, like coming in really hot. And the first thing she said was, your grandma on your mom's side and your grandpa on your dad's side both say hi. All four of my grandparents have passed, so that's not a crazy guess, but it's pretty specific. And she could have been so wrong and could have had, you know what I mean? So to go that hard off the pass is pretty intense. And funny enough, too, those were the two grandparents that I knew most of my life. The other two died when I was a child. So I thought that was interesting. But then immediately she goes, did your grandma on your mom's side have a miscarriage? And I was like, I don't know. I don't think so. I never heard about this. I knew someone else in my family had, but I didn't know about her. So I kind of just shrug it off and whatever. The rest of the reading goes on. And then after the reading, I decided to text my mom. I'm like, hey, weird question, but did Grammy ever have a miscarriage? And she goes, yeah, really, really traumatic one. And the psychic knew that straight off the bat, which is pretty crazy. I know it's not super uncommon to have a miscarriage, but to know exactly who had one is pretty crazy with literally no knowledge about me other than my first name.
Yeah.
I thought she was really interesting, and she also pulled tarot for me. She was a tarot reader, as well as a psychic medium, and she pulled once again a butterfly card for me, which is weird, but a bunch of other ones, and that was kind of a spooky experience. That was interesting. The rest of the reading, a lot of it resonated. I'm not going to go too much into it on here, but it was interesting. And then most recently, I had another experience, and this one was pretty spooky. I actually called Isa immediately after it because I was like, what the heck? But basically, Isa and I, a couple weeks ago, decided to start this podcast. And the day before we shot our first episode, which you guys will never hear because the audio was so bad, so in the vault track. But the day before we shot it, I had reached out to a psychic through a website. And a lot of those people can be super scammy, but some of them are pretty legit. So this person had really, really good reviews. I had free minutes or something on it. So I was like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. So I reach out to the person and I'm like, I keep it extremely vague. I'm just like, hey, could you tell me what career is looking like for me for the rest of the year? Something along those lines. The first thing she says was, I can see your finances improving in the next couple months. Also, I have a sense of you starting a part-time job that you do just for yourself, such as a podcast. That would be very good for you. Insane. I never said anything about a podcast or anything. Like, that's pretty specific and detailed. I was gonna say. Like, you can't deny that. Because I could easily be like, no, I'm not. And then be like, okay, I want my money back because I'm not doing that. And then I told her, I was like, that's crazy because I'm starting my first episode tomorrow. And she was like, I can see you doing really well at that. Like, stick with that. And I was like, oh, okay.
I know. You, like, there was an era of there was a few days where back to back you were telling me about so many signs.
It got even crazier, guys. So I realized at the same time, I had done a different reading a few months prior to this on the same website with a different psychic. At the time, I again asked about career, was I going to get more finances? The person at the time had said, and I quote, they said, have you thought about going into business with another person? I see you teaming up with somebody and brainstorming on ideas together. And at the time, I was like, I have no idea what she's talking about. I can't I'm not gonna start a business or anything. I'm 23 years old. So I thought she was just like scam her or whatever. And then this happened. And I was like, oh my God, wait, that was weird. So finally, I do my own tarot reading. I have an animal oracle deck that has tons of different animals. I think the deck has like 50 cards or something in there. And in my head, I'm like, okay, if the peacock comes out, there's only one of them in the deck. I was like, if the peacock comes out, that means that this endeavor that Isa and I are going to do will be successful. Then I start shuffling the deck, and guess what flies out of the deck? And it wasn't just at the top or anything. It was a middle back deck, which is kind of a hard card to come out typically. Usually they come from more the front. It flew out. The peacock. Let me see your peacock. So it was crazy. And I was like, okay, all these signs, I can't deny it.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Do you think a lot of this form of spirituality has a lot to do with your subconscious? It's so hard for me to ask this because I don't know how to word it well. But do you think that the first psychic saying, oh, you're going to team up with somebody,
subconsciously planted a seed in my head?
Subconsciously planted a seed in your head. And then when you were thinking or planning something, all of a sudden you felt more inclined to do so. Do you think there's a big part in your own autonomy that goes into how psychics communicate to you? For example, I'm a psychic and I tell you, yeah, you're gonna really love the color blue. Or you're gonna see the numbers 333.
So now that that's in my head, I start looking for it.
Yeah, you look for it. You look for an opportunity like that, which is not necessarily a bad thing, you know? I am a fan of faith. I think having faith is amazing. And if that is how you want to operate and go through life and have faith and really feel motivated, either subconsciously or just look for signs and things and look for happiness in that way. I'm just wondering how
much of it plays a role into it happening.
Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting question. For me, this specific situation, I completely forgot that I even had that reading. So much of happening in my life that time, that was the smallest little thing ever. So do I think that was direct correlation? Probably not. But when I had gone back for the other reading, I had looked through old ones at the same time. That's when I saw it. So I was like, oh, that did happen. Yeah. That is weird. I definitely think it could play a role. I think the thing too is that when things are meant to happen, that really it won't affect you if you know about it or not, as long as you don't know like the specific details.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because I feel like someone could be like, you're gonna meet the love of your life this month. And I'll be like, okay. And maybe I want that to be true. Maybe every guy I run into will think that that could be the person. But if it doesn't happen, or if it's not real, then did it really change anything?
Yeah.
Or did I force myself to get in a relationship with someone I don't care about or connect with because some psychic told me that?
Right. Another story that I have about psychics and stuff is I'm pretty sure my grandma on my mom's side had a psychic talk to them about health, and I think it was based on like pendulum as well.
Interesting.
But she was pregnant at the time, and I may be remembering the story wrong, but I'm pretty sure the psychic said something pretty negative about the pregnancy, miscarriage and stuff, and eventually my grandma also had a miscarriage, and it was pretty bad. It was rough because I think it was pretty far along, all that stuff. So a part of me thinks, how much was it the psychic knowing it was going to happen, or was it how stressed out it made my grandma that it caused it to happen, manifested?
I think it's so dependent on how much the person actually believed them, to be honest.
True.
I think a lot of people, though, even if they do believe in psychics, when they hear bad news, they don't want to believe it. Maybe part of them is afraid of it now, but I don't know, you know, it is crazy. My mom, actually, when she was pregnant, a psychic told her that my brother would have some sort of special needs, and he ended up having it, but he wasn't born with it. It actually accumulated when he was around 2 years old. I mean, that happened, but her maybe knowing that, did it cause her to stress out and then something happened? Probably not, because he was born healthy.
Right.
So I don't know.
It is weird how manifestation and all of that is something that a lot of people take for granted.
Oh, I think it's 100% real. I'm definitely a super believer in manifestation, creating your own life and happiness. It starts at your mindset, and it starts with how you perceive the world and perceive yourself.
Yeah. Kind of how in therapy you learn about negative loops, negative feedback loops. I don't remember. Yeah.
Like thought loops.
Thought loops, yeah. If you think that your life is awful and you have all of these things that are on your mind that are stressing you out, that could easily be a loop. And
Yeah, and then
how
you're
much
looking for things that suck, which then kind of confirm your
perpetuates.
own thought, and
Yeah.
then you have more thoughts, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
You know, through our company, actually, they teach classes in educational training tools, professional development. And in one of the classes, they call it a different word. I forget the exact terminology, but like back thinking, back thought, something like that. But it's manifestation. It's imagining yourself succeeding in something and how that feels. So there are like technical, actual, applicable uses that people use in real life. So I definitely think there's some truth to it. And also just the whole idea of frequency, right? Everything has energy, so everything operates at a certain frequency. For example, cats are super cool because the way in which they purr, it's a specific frequency that actually heals your injuries and stuff. So if a cat is like sitting on your chest and purring, it's actually helping you in your body. And this is scientifically proven through frequency and studies of healing. Like classical music has been shown to help heal certain cells or issues within one's body. And that's because of the frequency that it's at. So I think if you remember that everything is giving off a certain energy, even yourself, then things you attract to yourself would probably match that energy. So if you're vibrating at a higher energy, then you're probably going to bring good things into you. So how do you do that? Well, you start by thinking positively and manifesting positive things in your life.
Going back to faith and whatever you believe in.
Yeah.
That's a great way to get started. I pull a tarot card and I get the Wheel of Fortune. That helps me, that boosts me, that makes me feel great. And if that's what I need to kind of get started on a positive loop and kind of get started in a positive mentality, I 100%.
Then what's wrong with that? Yeah.
Yeah. Even if you're a skeptic 100% or you are extremely hesitant on all of what we talked about, it's always great to kind of take things in life as signs or as ways to keep going. In a positive way. Counting your blessings. That's something my boyfriend always tells me, is to count your blessings and be grateful. And I totally agree. The more you are grateful, even if things are so bad, and sometimes, yeah, it is hard. Trust me, as someone with anxiety, there are moments where it's hard for me to be grateful. And it sucks because there's so much in my life to be grateful about.
And it's also hard to even look for the positive when you have anxiety because it wires you to be on the lookout for bad things. That's literally human nature. So when you're all buzzed up from fear, you're looking for the tiger to jump out of the forest and get you. It's hard. It's difficult. You have to really put in work.
And that's why I love my tarot. I love seeing a post on Instagram about how today is going to be your good day. I love a good horoscope. You know, I'm a Taurus through and through.
I'm an Aries, if you can't tell.
Yeah, my sister's an Aries. We argue a lot.
So work. Absolutely. And I think, again, like the frequency that you vibe in when you're grateful is one of the highest ones you can have.
Oh, for sure.
And I feel really does cater and bring good things in your life.
When I wake up and I'm like, wow, it's like a movie. Like the, and you're yawning.
The birds are chirping.
Yeah, and you break into song and you're singing.
La 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 la.
Yeah. Literally me. I feel my day goes by. I get so much more done. I feel motivated versus if I'm having a bad day. I feel like that bleeds into the next day. And it isn't until I lay there and I go, okay, tomorrow's a new day. I live in a great place. I got a job after college. I'm an extremely privileged situation. I'm very lucky. I should be grateful. You know, hardships are hard, but there are so many things in my life that make things easier. And when you have that, and you once again pull a tarot card, it's the little book that your deck comes with, tells you, hey, do this. Sure, I'll be more mindful of that. Subconsciously, I'll think about it. That's how I kind of operate based on tarot and that form of spirituality and exploring. I don't know if that's different for you.
I would say, and this is something I'm trying really hard, is to trust my own intuition. I forget who said it, but the best psychic is yourself. If you trust your gut, trust your instincts, and follow them instead of the noise in your head, what's the saying go? Anxiety screams, intuition whispers.
Mm-hmm.
And once you can start to tell the difference between that, things just flow well. It's
Mhm.
like water. If you're not following the path that the water falls down to the waterfall instead of trying
Right.
to change its path, then things just go so much smoother. But again, it's hard because it's so human nature to feel control. And I feel like tarot, in a funny sense almost, makes me feel a little bit more controlled. Even though I can't control what cards come out, I can at least control how I react to upcoming things, whether
Yeah.
they're true or not, or they happen or not. And even if we take out all the spirituality and the frequency and the cards, whatever it is, just operating from a different perspective that's positive just changes your life.
Oh yeah, for
Even
sure.
if it has no meaning at all, I'd rather go through my life finding meaning in everything than
Yeah.
thinking that nothing has meaning, because what's the point?
Yeah, I agree. That's a great way of thinking about it, because I really enjoy finding the meaning in things. I love checking the time and it's 2:22. And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
oh my gosh.
Like,
Yeah, I'm like, and I Google what it means and then I
Mhm.
get all excited because I think I'm special. Or numerology. I don't know if you've ever looked into numerology, but that's also a really interesting thing to look into. But it allows you to discover yourself as well.
when there are special dates, like yesterday was October 10th.
Yeah.
So 10/10, that's a special date.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that was a special day, I took that time to be like, okay, what do I want to think positively about and look forward to?
Mhm.
Because this day is more magical than
Yeah.
other days. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't really matter. It's allowing me to think more.
Right.
It gives me almost like a sense of purpose or a way to follow that's not necessarily an institutionalized religion.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not going to bash on religion at all. If you are religious, amazing, great for you. I grew up religious. I definitely would consider myself more spiritual now. But the thing that's more difficult with spirituality is that there isn't some book that you follow. It's really your own relationship with whoever you believe in.
Yeah, it's kind of DIY.
It is DIY, and it's really what do you want to make of it and how deep do you want to go. Whereas, religions tell you what prayers to say and how to do this and that. And so I
Mhm.
think my own relationship with God and spirituality has shifted so much in the last few months that it's actually helped me look at all of that again through a much more positive lens, where I can enjoy a relationship with God that doesn't feel like I'm a failure.
As someone who grew up Catholic, I'm definitely in the same boat, where it was great to learn the morals, it was great to learn the values, but I didn't really connect with it as much just because it was very structured. So,
yeah, which I think makes sense for both of us as more creative individuals, that any sort of institutionalized structure.
It was just unattractive.
Yeah.
But, nothing wrong with it.
And then we ended up in corporate.
And then we ended up in a structured office.
Weird how that worked out.
Right. But yeah, I think it helps you navigate that though.
Absolutely. Yeah, again, it's just reframed my entire view of God, really. And
that's great.
I'm really grateful for that and having like a different relationship and a stronger one that isn't based off of shame.
Yeah.
Again, not hating religion. If you're religious, nothing wrong with that. If it works for you, it just didn't personally connect with me.
I would love for somebody to listen to this and be like, these are the most delusional crazy women I've ever heard in my life.
Sometimes I think that about myself. Sometimes I'm like, am I crazy? But then, I'm not hurting anyone if I am. So,
you did not confirm nor deny, is what I'm hearing.
I think I am. I think you have to be a little crazy to be into this stuff, but that doesn't mean it's a bad crazy.
No,
it's just, you have a different lens than the average population.
Yeah, it's an open mind thing.
Yeah.
I know some people who I mention tarot and they're like, don't ever get a reading in your life.
It's the devil.
I don't know.
He's gonna enter you.
One time someone had a very intense reaction to when I mentioned tarot cards and how I had a deck, and it seemed based on a personal experience. I have no idea. I didn't pick their brains about it, but they was kind of freaked out. I was like, damn.
Why, they got like a bad reading?
They must have. I don't know. I didn't really ask a lot, but I just remember talking about how I had a tarot deck, and my parents, they bought me a tarot deck and let me get crazy funky with it. I had a tarot deck, and the person that I was talking to at the time was like, got out their gun and shot me 7 times. I am a ghost.
Me too. Okay, first of all, if a man is scared that you use tarot, it's because he probably has an ex who caught him doing something with the cards. I'm calling it.
What? What do you mean? Like,
it was somebody you were talking to, right?
No, it was like...
Oh, I don't know why I assumed it was...
No, a guy? No, it was...
I'm
it
sorry,
was a family
really
friend.
Not okay with... Why did I assume that? Maybe because I just got love on my mind, baby.
It's... I don't know. It must be Venus in...
It's cuffing
something.
season.
breakup season, actually.
No, it's about to. Well, October is the transition. I feel like in my head from
true.
breakup to cuffing. So you made it through, y'all.
Yay!
Almost.
I was gonna say knock on wood because
knock on wood. Taylor Swift.
Anyways,
it
was a weird reaction, but I have a card deck next to me. And I was wondering if you wanted to get a quick card pull. It's my new deck, so I have to see what the...
Yeah. What, are you just going to do general?
Here, let me just...
do?
I'm shuffling the cards.
Are you going to do a love reading? Since it's coming.
Well, what do you want? What do you want?
Can you do a love reading? I haven't gotten one of those done in ever.
Yeah, let me pull a card. I don't know if the audio is going to pick this up. Oh, in a bad way, low-key.
Oh, brother,
yikes.
This guy
I'm just gonna put them at the top.
Okay, girl. Do it. Uh-oh. I don't like her face.
3 of arrows reversed. And it's illustration of a swan with arrows through its head. 2 swans.
Reverse though, because upright isn't that heartbreak? Maybe that's because I have never been loved.
Okay, let me switch to the page. I love this tarot deck. It's so pretty. All right. As 2 swans touch, the negative space between them forms a heart pierced by arrows. The 3 of arrows is a... Why are you laughing?
Sorry.
Take this seriously.
Yes, ma'am.
The 3 of arrows is a card of heartbreak, loss, and despair. These emotions are part of nature, and we all must bear them at one time or another. The phrase swan song refers to a final performance or effort often given just before death or retirement. It comes from an ancient Greek belief that swans are mute for most of their lives, but sing a beautiful song just before they die. In folklore
and Lana Del Rey.
In folklore and art and pop culture, singer Lana Del Rey.
No way!
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was like, they're talking about Lana there? Okay.
And they also talk about being gullible in this book. That's really crazy. There's so much on this small page. Man, I can't read.
Damn, get through it.
I'm sorry. Okay, in folklore and art, swan themselves symbolize transformation. From Hans Christian Andersen's The Ugly Duckling to Jankowski's, that's probably terrible Polish, I'm sorry, Jankowski's Swan Lake, these elegant birds remind us that our pain can transform us. Okay, I'm gonna skip the upright section because you got it in reverse. When the 3 of arrows appears in reverse, it indicates that we are the cause of our own suffering. Too much self-criticism can lead to doubt and lack of confidence and even mental anguish. We must be gentle with ourselves if we are to realize our gifts. How can I learn to trust again is the question that you should think about. And honestly, knowing you, this kind of makes a lot of sense.
Literally, that one psychic who knew my grandparents were dead, she literally said the same thing.
How can you trust again?
It's just like, love yourself more. You're so hard on yourself. I'm trying, y'all. If you got any tips and tricks how to love yourself.
I think you should hate yourself more.
I wanted to know about my love, not my self-esteem issues. Can we get a clarifying card or?
I'll pull a clarifying, but if it's like the Tower, then I'm sorry.
Well, just put it back if it is.
2 of Pentacles reversed. All right. The 2 of Pentacles reminds us to embrace life's unpredictability. Anchored by 2 pentacles, a snake forms... Oh, this is a word I don't know.
Can you spell it?
Lemniscate.
Who?
Lemniscate.
I don't know.
Okay.
Lemniscate.
Why? I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't stupid. So if you don't know it either...
I mean, it's hard to hear spell. Just keep going. I don't want people
forms
to
a lemniscate. An infinity sign with his body, implying that life's ups and downs are integral to its beauty. The word oh my god, it teaches us the word later on. Oh, the word lemniscate comes from the Latin word for decorated with ribbons, suggesting a festive mood. This life, however, dark at times, is worth celebrating.
So true, baby.
The snake is also a reminder of the Ouroboros, a serpent biting its own tail, often associated with the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth.
Birth, death, and rebirth.
And death again.
2 births.
The Ouroboros speaks to constant transformation. Like the snake, we can adapt to life's twists and turns, shedding our skin and emerging into new life. And you had it in reverse.
Oh.
And this is your clarifying card, by the way, so you can't get mad. Imbalance has caused you to feel that you are always falling behind. Rest before reassessing your situation and making a tangible plan for moving forward. How can I be more spontaneous?
I thought I was. I guess I have some things to think about, people.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that.
she's gonna hurt me.
Then on that note, I think I want to get out of here.
No.
Just kidding. You know what? Sometimes with tarot, you're not gonna hear what you want to hear.
Right. I feel like that was such a sour, sad thing for me to pull for you. I'm sorry.
You know what? I think it's very accurate. It's telling me I need to go and do more work in depth, and so that I will do.
Right.
But on that note, thank you all so much for enjoying. Why do I keep saying enjoying?
Thank you. You have no choice but to enjoy
Us.
Yes.
Thank you for enjoying that episode today, y'all.
Uh-huh.
We so much appreciate our so many viewers out there listening. I know by when this gets posted, it's gonna be 10,000.
Thank you so much for 1.5 million.
Yeah, thank you so much.
5
I
million
actually
followers.
bought a house because of you guys, so thank you.
Yeah. Mortgage or no?
Huh?
You just bought it up front, no mortgage?
No, just cash, baby. Cash in a briefcase.
Nice.
Threw it in there.
Oh.
Gave it to him.
Okay.
But I kept the briefcase. It was nice.
Ooh.
If you enjoyed today's episode, which I know you did, we are posting new episodes every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And you can also follow us on Coworker Calamity on Instagram to catch up with us and see what we're doing in between these beautiful episodes. And
Nothing.
And it's going to be me binge watching something. And binging something.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
This girl's weird.
Yeah.